Hey, what's up YouTube? So today I want to do a kind of a review or just sharing my thoughts on the Galaxy Fold 4. And so I got this phone for like 3 days now. It's definitely not a very in-depth review, but I just want to talk about like my thoughts on this phone because I feel that it's pretty different from what is available on the YouTube channels. Although tech review channels, they often don't talk about the things that I think is important about this one. Okay, so this is a list about the things I want to cover. Okay, the first one, portable tablet. So I think foldables actually has this very nice niche on the market that it occupied the place of a portable tablet. So just imagine like it depends on your job and your needs that sometimes you just need to have a tablet all around with you. For example, in my case, I'm doing my PhD and I read a lot of documents, papers, and sometimes I just want to quickly write down my ideas so that I don't forget about them in my hectic life. So I really need a portable tablet, and basically there's no tablet that is more portable than foldables. You can argue like really big phones like S22 Ultra is also a tablet liked, but in terms of portability and the screen size you are getting, you are not going to win foldable at all. So I think this is the major reason that you should consider to buy a foldable or not, is that how much you value having a portable tablet in your pocket. And if so, then I would highly suggest you to really take a look into this market, pick a phone that you like, and try to switch to that in your next phone update. Okay, so that's what I talk about. And then secondly, I think a lot of people dislike the folding phone is because of its price. And make no mistakes that foldables are definitely very expensive. But is it as expensive as it is advertised? Is it really the MSRP of 1800? Well, I would say no, because you can always find a deal somewhere somehow. And actually, if you are willing to get last year's foldable for free, it's available for $500 on eBay. And like they are certified, so if you dislike them, you can return them for sure. So it's actually not expensive at all. And even though I got the Fold 4 basically 3 days ago, but I'm just paying $1,000 for it. So and like if you consider like other foldables on the market, maybe the Huawei VS or Xiaomi Mix Fold, their original price tag is definitely lower than Samsung's Fold. But if you try to find discounts, deals, refurbish, and stuff, the Samsung foldable will be significantly cheaper. So there's a thing taking into consideration. Maybe you like the Xiaomi or the Huawei foldables better, but I think in terms of price, the Samsung foldables are definitely cheaper than the others. And of course, that's given that you are not buying it at its original price. It's just the Samsung's marketing strategy. They're trying to put the price up and then give you deals so that they can lure you in. Okay, so that's the price aspect. And next, I will start talking about the phone. I will say the media consumption here is really, really good. So, for example, just a random video on YouTube. And what I will usually do is that I will do this split screen thing, depending how much of the space I want. So I can do this, and then what I'll do is to pick another app. Pick another app and drop it at the bottom. And then by adjusting the height, I can have basically the full screen experience. And then of course I have also a window at the bottom that I can check some extra things that I need to see. And or even I can have 2 of them so that the ratio is a bit more reasonable. So I just think this, I don't know why people are saying that media consumption on the fold is not good. I think that's definitely not true. The screen is very crisp, the color is great. And having this setup is like basically the best thing you can have. So media consumption, I have really no problem with that. And of course you have also the outer screen. And I find it pretty helpful sometimes. to have just like a very adjustable phone stand anywhere with you, so that like no matter in what position that you are trying to put it in, you can adjust the angles accordingly. And of course, in the front screen, because it's so wide, so you're not getting the beautiful aspect ratio. But since I'm coming from SNE, I'm perfectly fine with a smaller screen when I am doing media consumption. So that's another thing checked. Media consumption on the Fold 4 is actually really good. I don't know why people are complaining about that. And another reason I'm getting this phone is about the writing experience, and I just really want to share that. So you can do action pressing the button on the Fold on the S Pen that you bought extrally, and starting a new note. Okay, so I think of course, first thing about the pen itself is very comfortable to grip. I think it's much better than, for example, the S22 Ultra's pen, because it's really thin. If you are taking a little bit more time in note taking or drawing, I think having a larger pen is definitely beneficial. And the material is just very comfortable to grip. And then about the software, I think I mainly just use Samsung Notes and Sodo for PDF editing when I read books in PDF. I think they are both great software. I think there are still some things that the Samsung Notes can optimize, but once you basically set the background, set the template, is at least the best app for writing, as far as I know. So and a lot of people would say, I think, if the crease will kind of hinder the writing experience, and my answer to that is not. It is not going to affect your writing experience. Like, even on a paper, you don't often write on a completely flat surface, and I think I can write very accurately even when I'm on the crease. So the crease is not a hinder to your writing experience at all. Let me change to another color. This is hard to see. All right. And also another good thing about is that the screen, the texture is just great. It's so much better than writing on an iPad. Of course, you can slap a paper-like screen protector on iPad or something, but just from the raw experience, it's so much better to write on writing with an S Pen and the Galaxy Fold 4. And also the refresh rate is higher. The screen is laminated. I would say I would pick to write on the Fold 4 10 out of 10 times if I'm comparing it with an iPad. So if you also value the writing experience a lot on a tablet, then I would definitely say buying the Fold 4 is a much better choice than buying an iPad separately. And buying an iPad Mini or iPad along with the Apple Pencil is definitely more expensive than buying a foldable itself. So there's another point checked. And the next is camera. And honestly, I don't use camera a lot. I'm not a camera guy. I just take photo to record my live moments. so that I can check back and know that what did I do on that day. And yeah, I think having the triple camera setup is more than enough for me. I want them to downgrade the camera. I don't want them to occupy that much space. But that's a personal preference. I just don't think there is any problem with the camera. And the inside under display camera is also, I think, is like being criticized unjustly, because you can hardly notice it, and it does give a decent quality for your Zoom calls. Maybe it's much better than a selfie camera on your laptop. So I don't know why people are complaining about it. I think the camera setup on this phone is more than what I want. And finally, let's talk about the outer display. So I think this is probably some people are complaining that it's not wide enough, but to be honest, I think this is the widest you can get for a nice one-handed experience, because you see my thumb is almost reaching to the end on the outer display. So this is like the outer display is also very good, because I don't think you really have to slap a screen protector on it as long as you have a case, because it's significantly higher than the outer display inside. So so you don't really need a case. You don't really need a screen protector if you get a case. And mine is just the official case with the S Pen included. And I got it for $60. I think it's really reasonable to get an S Pen along with the case for $60. Imagine if you're doing it with an iPad, just the Apple Pencil alone would cost you more than $60. And I really enjoy the high refresh rate. Everything is so snappy. I'm coming from S10e, so this upgrade is very nice for me. And also people complaining about like writing on the outer screen, but I'm just used to swiping all along, because I that's how I feel about phone. A phone should be used one-handed. If you can't use it one-handed, it's not a phone, it's a tablet. And so I have no problem with typing with just one-handed. I'm very used to swiping, and sometimes I can just use voice input from the Google bot. So yeah, that's that. But the next I want to talk about some complaints about this phone. Of course, there are many things that people dislike about it. I'm just going to talk about what I dislike about it. Firstly, is the keyboard. I think so the default setup is probably the split screen keyboard, something like this, and I think this is just stupid. I am not typing with two-handed. I think it's important that somebody has we having a consistent typing habit. No matter you are in the inside display or the outer display. So I think what I usually do is to have a floating window and kind of put it at the bottom right corner, so that I can mimic the typing experience when I'm using the outer screen the most. But of course, it's also not very optimized, because you see there is a lower bottom bar, so that I can move the floating keyboard around, and also the app is not adjusting to show the whole keyboard. So I think this is something that Samsung or Google should do, is to have the functionality is that is being able to fix the keyboard at the bottom right, and then probably having some emojis on the left hand side if I want to choose them. But yeah, just overall allow for one-handed typing experience better, and adjust the screen accordingly. Actually, the false competitor Surface Duo do a much better job. If you have to, for example, like sorry. For example, okay, this is Opera. And, for example, if you are splitting screen, and if you want to type on one screen, actually the keyboard will only show up on that split screen. That's what Surface Duo can do, and I think Samsung definitely have room for improvement on their on their keyboard of the inner display. Okay. It's early in the morning, so I might be tired. Okay, and the next thing is about the basically the elephant in the room is that how thick this is, especially because it's a portable thing. You want to slap on the case and to carry the S Pen. So this thing is thick. It's much thicker than anything I have. So there's something to get used to, right? But I think on the other side, the weight is actually okay. That's what you would expect to have a tablet in your pocket. It's still lighter than the iPad mini. So of course, if you are using it as a phone, you'll feel that it's really heavy. But if you are using it as a tablet, I don't think this thing is heavy at all. It's a decent weight per se. And okay, finally is the grip. As I said, is the outer display is very comfortable for one-handed use. But about the inner displays, is actually if you have the S Pen cover, you can hold your phone like this, and I think it's still decent for one-handed use. But the only one case I have some grudge about it is that when you're sleeping on the bed, and you want to watch a YouTube video somehow, I don't know, maybe some Jordan Peterson, here we go, and then you are laying on the bed, so your head is right below your phone, and you want to hold it so that it's not dropping on you while you can watch content. So probably what you do is something like this, so that it's not falling, but it's very uncomfortable. This is something that if I'm just doing a probably using an S10e, I'll probably hold it like this. But this phone is too heavy and too wide in the tablet mode to do this. So it's just not a very pleasant experience to consume media on the bed. But of course, you can always just sleep sideways and then put it on the bed like this, and try to watch the video from there. So so that's the point, all of the points that I want to talk about. Just a quick summary. I think Fold 4 is a really great phone if you are looking for a portable tablet with decent writing experience and that is not breaking your bank. And the other things that people talk about are I don't really have complaints about the media consumption or the camera or the outer display. But I think there an actual downside in the software optimization of the keyboard, and the fact that how thick and how wide it is. Of course, I don't think the bottom 2 points is something they can do anything with it. Of course, they can still try to minimize the weight, try to make it less thick, but this is a foldable, so that's what you would expect. You are essentially folding a tablet into half, so it's going to be thicker, it's going to be harder to grip. So I really look forward if Samsung or Google can fix the keyboard issue, and that's all I have to say about this foldable. I would probably do a more in-depth review later as I'm more familiar with the phone. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.